All right, so not a lot has changed since the last video, but there's been some refinements. Um, you know, right now I really kind of focusing on splitting strategy to be around a person and their identity in the company, what we're trying to achieve. And awareness, even though awareness does happen as part of strategy, it's the strategy of awareness is about the individual or individuals within a company that we're trying to target to create awareness around influences and other kind of aspects so they become aware of how, ultimately that we have social proof and that we're solving their problem. The global awareness is more about the general setting the framework for at a higher level, which hopefully will echo down into our targets and help us build up networks within different social media platforms. The awareness I take into as a content strategy, which is driven about building the content. We have our communication strategy, which is the one I'll go through right now, which is about either posting on groups or in forums or making comments on other people's posts, which is trying to create that relationship between the people. And we have our CTA strategy. CTA strategy is around something like a webinar or an event which is happening, uh, or other kind of landing pages or offers, and thinking something that has a call to action. So that's kind of a campaign looking for treating almost like when people create a post or a comment or somewhere in a subject matter which will relate to this CTA to try to trigger them going into the CTA. And I'll be doing some other videos experimenting with the community CTAs and webinar CTAs, but for the moment. And the asset creation is part of the whole asset creation for the CTA. So um, that gets into this is a high level version compared to the strategy, which would be low level version for making it for a specific for a person or a company with the asset creation. The dialogue is the same. I've introduced a visual character just to help make a bit more um, easier to read the dialogues and the conversations. And what we have here, I introduced a couple of things. So one of the issues that I was having was the system commands were so that it works on a long pole thing. So basically, there's a whole bunch of bots which are split out on different servers, which are looking at the social media and doing comments, which are working independent to the core application, which has the knowledge. So for the comments and other things like that, they will take a system command. So they're just trying to take a summary of information. This is now a list, so we can keep on adding characters and personalities as we discover what works and doesn't work within that action. We have the day of the week, so what day it'll post. We have an end date, so in this case, when it will terminate. And then we have our properties. So the system's going to search for this case, we're talking about PRN. Um, is this post discussing PRN staffing or its advantages in healthcare? And a comment highlighting the importance of efficient PRN shift management, reducing error rates, and improving blah, 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 blah. So, what in my first round, I was sending comments and the AI just got way too creative. It wasn't using the system command at all, so it didn't have any context and it got too creative. But now I've adjusted this so the results are much better. And my earlier tests were these histories were kind of hard coded in my bots, so they didn't need to worry too much. I also introduced the simulator so we can do it. You'll notice that this is an array, so it can have more than one command action, so we can combine different ones. Here I've just created the one for just simplifying the testing. But let's go ahead and we can see how the bot will behave before actually putting it on. So, I hate dealing with shifts, so many call offs, no idea who is booking, what can I do? Let's say that's a post. And we go ahead and now we can kind of simulate what the bot's going to do. So you can see the response here, you know, with this query. Is this post relevant? Yes. So the idea is that we only really want to get relevant posts. We don't want to spend time, and it's probably not going to look good for the brand to post on things that aren't relevant. Um, and then it's done a fairly creative solution, um, through digital things. So this is one option that it's done. And the other thing that has been done is we've turned down the temperature, which just means that we're telling the AI to be less creative in its response. We don't want it to create statements, false statements about what is happening or anything about any products or any items like that. So, turning that down will give better results. Um, the other thing that we're doing is, we're before the system was, we were heavily reliant on the analytics. Now we're trying to improve that by at least monitoring the comments to classify the comments. So right now I'll be adding in the ability to view and see what's happening with those comments, to try to get results. But with those kind of campaigns, it's fairly tricky, on a small scale to really see the impact awareness campaigns. But I believe the awareness, it'll come into, does the person comment on our comment? Does the person like our comment? So if that's really, can be done on a large enough scale to provide quality, then yes. But I believe we'll get enough of the quality awareness indicators in creative posts. So the problem is you need the awareness to get enough feedback on your post. So it's always a catch 22 here. So we're just starting out with this. Anyway, that was a quick update. You know, a lot more to do, but a lot done on the on the bot and the automation side. So that's a quick Friday update of the ABM tool.